awesome date. At some point in December, we hope. Also topic, day culture!
Yeah!
This is the OSMcast. Holy crap, we're the OSMcast.
Yeah!
I'm Basil.
I'm Lee.
This is Kevin.
And that's us. Hopefully, we have gotten started yet again on recording these podcasts. Unfortunately, as you may have noticed since we haven't actually released in the past 2 weeks, there have been certain issues, mostly with Inubito's hard drive dying on him. Now he called a gateway where he bought in his PC very quickly, and he talked to them and they shipped him a brand new hard drive.
It didn't work.
Which in fact broke his machine further.
Oh, damn.
So he has now shipped it off to what did I say it was freaking called? Gateway. That's right. I'm not thinking very straight today. And so hopefully they'll ship it back to him fixed. We're hoping. He's discovered that apparently, well, they're great if, you work for a business or the government. They treat you really well. When you're just an actual customer, not so much. So, lessons learned. If you're just a regular person, don't actually shop Gateway.
Damn it, that's where I bought my new computer.
Whoops.
Actually, it was off Newegg, but it's a Gateway model. I got it for a really good price, though, so fuck yeah.
Well,
hopefully it'll never
good.
break on you.
But, we're trying alternate forms of getting this podcast edited, so hopefully our Utena podcast went up already, and this one's going up when hopefully it'll still be in December. Hopefully nothing else will go wrong. We can keep this train a-moving.
Yeah.
There ain't no getting off of this train, we all.
But the thing that really, really got me going, we gotta get back on this horse, is because I was reading some news reports about this guy named, apparently, Johnny Otaku.
More like Johnny Otak ass.
Okay. We'll start all over again. But what really got me wanting to get back on the horse and talk about some stuff was this jerkwad named Johnny Otaku. He's apparently some asshole that was originally out of, Chattanooga and then moved to Texas so he can annoy Funimation but make him to the next big thing since his hero, Vic Manana.
That should not be your idol, kids. Just saying.
I've never talked to Vic. He could be the greatest person.
He's not.
He's obviously a very prolific voice actor and very prolific anime cons. I know this. I see this. Why you would want to emulate anyone, I don't understand. But I found this, apparently this message or email or thing sent by a guy named Ken Wallen, and he really just goes out of the way to describe everything and to kick it off and give the facts. And apparently this guy, what he would do is he moved to Texas, and then he would go to the Funimation offices and demand that they make him into a voice actor. And he wouldn't leave until they would escort him out.
Man, this is the crazy side of fans that makes us all look bad, even though there are tons of crazy fans who make us look bad. Whatever. This is the worst. Almost.
Okay, kids, you want to be a voice actor. Do not go down to the Funimation studios and make an ass of yourself. Just for starters.
He apparently was going at YoCon, he went to, their Funimation panel and pretty much took it up and went, hey, I'm wonderful. I am so great. I have given you my demo reel several times. You know how great a voice actor I am. Why am I not the next Vic Mañana? Why haven't you done this for me yet? I am obviously great. You should know this. I'm the next Vic.
You know, if by some miracle he was good and he got in, you know that he would just go storming in. Why am I not playing Kamina? Why am I stuck playing Rat-Ass Man again? So...
True. Well, even Vic Mañana started as some little nobody in Dunbine.
But, apparently he was known to loiter scowling in the Funimation's lobby, been forcibly removed from the building, and has been known to bang on locked doors there and try to force his way in when they're opened. And another thing I read was apparently he's been kicked out already out of Tennessee cons because at one convention during a rave, he looked up an underage raver's skirt, then grabbed her high heel and started licking the heel.
I think this tells us just everything we need to know about this guy. That he's a, what's the word, fucktard?
And then he had grabbed one of the people at YuleCon, one of the judges, slammed her against the wall, but put her against the wall. And went to her and was like, "You're my way in. Why haven't you made this happen? Why am I not the next Vic Mañana?" He has a really, really obsession with Vic, apparently.
Hey, Vic, you need to, stage a press conference and call this guy a douche.
You should, because we're calling him a douche right now. And apparently he's been banned at least out of at least 8 Texas conventions, supposedly a bunch of Tennessee conventions. And I'm just going to say right out here, right now, he's banned from the OSMcast. He's never going to be on our podcast. Ever.
No, I think about it. Wasn't he at a Persicon one year? But, oh well.
I don't know. But I know where he's not going to be. I'm taking a stand right here. We don't let jerk-offs like that on our podcast. He's the very definition of, anti-awesome.
Mm.
He's obviously mentally insane and stupid in the head and needs to go away. You should, go move away from Texas and go to Mexico where they wouldn't understand you, so all your posturing will be useless.
Try Vancouver. I hear they're always looking for ADR actors in Vancouver.
No. He might actually get a job there. We want to push him so we'll never hear from him again. And I believe Mexico is the proper location. I mean, it's close to Texas. None of them would understand what he's saying anyway, so whatever he said would be irrelevant.
You might get a job playing the token white guy in some Mexican sitcom.
See, there you go. You could be the next Vic Mañana in Mexico. It doesn't have to be in America. I believe you should do your duty, sir, Mr. Johnny Otaku. And, get the hell out of our country. Because we don't need people like you breathing our air.
And this has been a moment of vengeance. I don't know. Whatever.
Not really vengeance. He's never done anything to me personally. Yeah. I just think he sounds like a colossal asshole.
In fact, we have
and needs to be put in his place.
We have no first-hand knowledge of any of these events. In fact,
okay. Well, moment of anti-assholeness.
Not really, since we're being just as much jerks because we're totally berating him on our podcast.
We really have no first-person knowledge of any of these events. We just have other people's stories.
For this guy just to be there's a raging, what's the word, dick, and get banned from several conventions, and other conventions are preemptively banning him because of his actions. It's how much of a jerk do you have to be to get this kind of treatment?
To get preemptively banned,
I think anybody might be also banning him as well. I'm not sure, but
I hope so.
I certainly hope so because he just seems to be a raging jerk of an outstanding. He should get the jerk off awards for most jerkiness.
Which the trophy is a punch in the balls.
Yes. Critical hit right to the net.
And I feel that he should receive several awards of this nature. So there you go. But now that we've gotten our moment of hate on, we're going to move straight on into the world of awesome.
Awesome!
Okay, so apparently Rosario plus Vampire is the only anime getting edited on various, stations of things. Because the Russian government is planning to investigate possibly censoring GTO.
But that is a wholesome anime with no objectionable content.
And by GTO we do mean, in fact, Great Teacher Onizuka.
There isn't a new one. This is the original.
This is the original one. Apparently, they're investigating their local television stations' showings of GTO for allegedly using, quote, gratuitous, frequent use of close-ups of the lower half of female bodies, child pornography, sexual abnormalities, violence, and cruel acts, and other issues.
Start censoring that, you'll have like 2 episodes that are 5 minutes long each.
Yeah, apparently, this is their committee, and this is going to be an interesting thing to try to pronounce. The Rosviakomnadzor. Just look at that. Look at that word.
We apologize to any Russians.
We apologize to the Russians. No non-Russian speaker could pronounce this word.
It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think 17 letters in this word.
I took a grand 12 weeks of Russian back somewhere in middle school, and I don't got a clue.
But the committee member, Vladimir Anukushkin, requested the investigation and claimed GTO was not overtly created as such, but has become pedophiliac propaganda. Harsh words.
So it's a safe bet that... Crap, never mind. I can't remember the name of that anime I was trying to reference it with.
He also claimed that the anime makes the viewers think that prostitution and theft are alright because it deals with these themes in a completely humorous light. Because I don't know, it's a comedy. Oh dear.
Well, it's a little known fact, but the Russians think no one should be having fun, and if they are, something's obviously wrong with it.
I think we could have crossed the same waters if GTO had become on any sort of TV station, aside from pay-to anime news networks.
If it had gotten,
anime, not anime news networks, anime.
I think it was on Showtime.
Yeah,
well, Showtime's a pay time.
Oh yeah.
Although, if it had gone on, Adult Swim, and had become wildly popular, then we might be seeing some of this.
But I think that on Adult Swim would be just fine now.
Yeah.
Based on what they do on Adult Swim nowadays, it's nothing wrong in comparison.
Yeah.
GTO isn't that bad. I would never have went, oh yeah, it totally reminds me of, pedophiliac propaganda.
Well, I only guess by the virtue of there are high school age girls who are technically underage, although we tend to forget this watching anime sometimes.
And he does become, one of his main reasons to become a teacher is because, the girls! But that's GTO.
That's just how he rolls.
And he usually gets beat up for it.
Yeah.
It's not like it extols the virtues of his, that's part of his character, and again, it's a comedy.
Yeah. It's not like this is Kodomo no Jikon, where a grade school girl is trying to get her teacher to screw her.
Oh god, that's creepy. That pretty much got banned from being put out here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And the creator's the Western world can't understand my great art.
Yeah, I don't understand her great heart either, but
but of course, earlier in March, a group of Protestants were trying to get Ikitosen and South Park and C-Lab 2021 banned as well.
Wait, they're showing Ikitosen over here?
No, over there in Russia.
Oh, in Russia. Oh.
Ikitosen I can see, for it has no redeeming plot whatsoever. But the rest...
But that's different. That's you're wanting them to stop showing it because it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that. That's not,
That's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. And Ikitosen, though, is much more overtly sexual and fan servicey.
Well, yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
The only thing I know is about Ikitosen, is that the one with the blue-haired chick with the eye patch?
Yes.
That's shown naked everywhere.
Well,
not naked, but almost
except
naked.
for in the OAVs, they never end up actually naked. Well, maybe the DVD versions, but yeah, I actually honestly didn't stick with it very long before I decided there's no plot and I'm not hanging around for this fan service.
I've never seen it.
But that's okay, because Toei is planning to do a $55 million digital revamp of their Tokyo studio. It apparently came from the Variety Entertainment trade news source.
Yay.
It's going to include a construction of a 51,161 square foot 4-story location for digital post-production on both its live action and animated works.
I'm guessing while we're in a recession, they're doing pretty well.
Well, apparently they've been planning on building this for the past 4 years.
Ah.
And it's pretty much them, moving from the whole cell animation and whatnot, to more the digital style.
Mm.
Like that's, the new way of doing anime for years now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much them just finally finishing up, getting themselves up to speed.
Mm.
I, for one, welcome my new higher budgeted live action Japanese TV shows.
It's apparently planning its first computer graphics project to augment its 2 existing lines of traditionally animated works. Movie spin-offs from the television series, apparently such as the Precure movies, and apparently original feature films, like the Rose of Versailles remakes. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Ghibli has announced that they're going to start 2 features over the next 3 years.
Yay!
This is really just really more reconfirm what they've already said they're going to be doing. This was apparently it's one of the things they're going to do to help, in this new struggling worldwide economy. They're going to put out more movies, which I guess makes sense.
It's what they know how to do.
Yeah. Apparently, Miyazaki has reportedly emphasized that both the 2 new feature-length works will have young staffers at their core. They've also showed some blurred stuff saying, hey, there's stuff, but it's coming soon. Now, they have previously, announced that they were developing 2 movies. One by the original co-founder of Ghibli, Isao Takahata. He did stuff like, Grave of the Fireflies, Only Yesterday, Pompoko.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff from Studio Ghibli that isn't Miyazaki, but still awesome.
Right, well, he hasn't done stuff in a while.
Yeah.
Like, he stopped and recently decided to get back into it.
Awesome.
And the other
more
one...
stuff from him.
Yeah. And the other one is going to be by Goro Miyazaki, which was Miyazaki's son, who originally started off as the Ghibli Museum's first curator. And then they decided to push him in more in directing, and he did Tales from Earthsea.
Who has hopefully learned a little something from Puyo by the Cliffside.
So, well,
That was an interesting...
Earthsea wasn't bad.
I actually honestly still haven't seen it, although I do want to.
I think it was a little disjointed in some places, but I enjoyed it.
But still, for a first-person's movie...
Yeah, for real. That's pretty good.
It was really, really good.
Probably under a lot of pressure, too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
And, when you're working for Ghibli, you're probably... you're working with a lot of really talented people. So it's, it's not just one person who makes these things. It's usually teams of hundreds of people, so...
But to be the creative mind behind something like that's still pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. And, it still was very much a Ghibli, how do you pronounce that?
Ghibli. I've
always said Ghibli, but
yeah,
Ghibli might be correct.
I've always said Ghibli as well, because Ghibli sounds like something from Homestar Runner,
But that makes it possibly a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's
yeah,
it makes it
awesome.
more, yeah. Which also includes, apparently, Singapore is working on a Bubblegum Crisis adaptation.
I am both very excited and very afraid.
Like, it looks like it's a live-action / computer graphics remake of Bubblegum Crisis.
From Singapore.
Yes, from Singapore. It's apparently the media company Axis. They did something called Zodiac: The Race Begins.
Yeah, doesn't ring any bells, but okay.
And they included a really, really small, tiny image that's sort of a pre-production image of it, which we have here, and you can't really tell. It's got a logo and a chick, and she's got her hair sort of covering her face, and she's got boobs.
Is it Pris?
That's probably.
We can only hope, but yeah, who the hell knows at this point?
I mean, I think there might be a motorcycle in the background, maybe. This image is really small. We'll put it up on the website, but...
It's still really small, and I'm sure this is like the biggest size it exists in.
It is.
And I keep hearing about anime movies being made. When are we going to see Dragon Ball?
Sooner than we'd like.
They just put out a trailer, and it looks really, really, really bad.
Let's just say this is a movie you want to take a lot of good friends along with, because it's going to be that bad.
It's obviously it's Western, but I thought it was hilarious that with the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, that all the people are white in there. They're casting, even though they're supposed to be like Asian.
It's Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after thinking about it, sleeping on it, it's like, yeah, okay, I can accept some of these things. I still haven't seen what the gang looks like. If they did some little darkening in the makeup job, I can accept Kitara and Sokka. But Jesse McCarthy as Prince Zuko made me want to, like, it still makes me want to bang my head on the table because it just makes no sense to me.
But they got M. Night Shyamalan to do this.
Yes.
What's going to be all the twist? Aang as a lie?
No, the twist will be that Aang is really insane in a mental institution, and the Fire Lord is his therapist. And then at the end, you're going to snap to that, and, you know, M. Night Shyamalan will leap up behind the couch and go, "What's a twist?"
While doing the twist.
Yes.
And then it'll end with everyone doing the monkey. Oh, wait, it wouldn't be that awesome.
No, that's only awesome things may do the monkey.
That's what Johnny Bravo taught me.
Yes.
But, you know, apparently, Channel News Asia has reported that apparently this group has announced 4 live-action computer-generated films, and their total value is going to be over $135 million. So we'll see. But we know that apparently in their press release they describe Bubblegum Crisis as a film based on the same name original anime series from Japan about 4 young female mercenaries fighting for justice. Which I guess is, you know,
accurate.
Ostensibly what Bubblegum Crisis is.
And it's a hard show to sum up in a couple of words, so...
I just forgot the power suits, but hey.
Let's hope they're in there somewhere.
Well, yeah.
Or it's going to be a real...
Well, if it's computer generated, that's what they're...
Or Kevin is turning off the movie. As if this is like Starship Troopers and they forget the power armor.
God, the Dragon Ball CG looks horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Like, they showed, like, the bike that apparently Bulma or someone has. Bulma also has guns, by the way.
I heard.
Like, I'm glad that actually Piccolo kind of looks green now.
Yeah.
Oh, they changed it?
It looks like they've added green to him.
Awesome.
So
It just seemed like they kind of combined Bulma and Lunch into one character. But, anyways, that's... Wow, I remember Lunch. Well, I like Dragon Ball. I just got sick of Dragon Ball Z.
But wait, isn't this a Dragon Ball Z movie?
It's Dragon Ball, technically.
It's technically Dragon Ball, but they're calling it Dragon Ball Evolution. Which, even when the announcer said it almost sounded like he was almost about to burst out laughing. It was like, Dragon Ball Evolution. Wow, that's a really bad name. The fight begins soon.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball.
I just hope that's how it ends. I mean, I hope it's like, that would make me laugh if at the end of the credits they just started up, in the next movie of Dragon Ball. But we probably won't be that lucky. Our only hope is that it'll be so ridiculously bad, it'll be as funny as when the Chinese tried to do it the first time.
Man, if they had Chow Yun-Fat doing the Roshi dance from the Chinese film, that I would pay money to see that. And I don't think it would require me to actually buy alcohol in order to appreciate this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Although I think that would actually increase the appreciation anyways.
We got a release date on this movie?
I haven't bothered to look.
Well, moving on.
I'm sure we'll see it on TV soon enough.
Apparently, Yotsuba creator Kiyohiko Asuma addresses anime rumors. Updated. Of course, as always, all our information comes from Anime News Network. But
or most of it, at least.
This is the guy, in case you had forgotten, is the creator of AWO. He apparently has been posting a blog entry on Friday. This is a previous Friday at some point in December. Apparently about the recent surge of rumors about a hypothetical Yotsuba anime adaptation. Yotsuba is the project he's done after AWO.
It's that little girl with the green hair and 4 pigtails.
Who runs around and is absolutely crazy and adorable and crazy.
Mostly crazy.
But incredibly funny. Like, she's just... It's great. AAV's put out the first 5 volumes. It's manga. You should totally read it. Anyways, apparently he was trying to, squelch all these rumors. Originally, when it first... The manga first started coming out in 2005. He had to say, no, we don't have plans for anime right now. Now, apparently, it's not to squelch false rumors about anime plans, but about false reasons for why there are no current anime plans. Apparently, there are rumors that there was friction between him and the AWO staff of the anime. And that's why the Yotsuba anime has never been greenlit. He apparently emphatically stated that the new rumors are false and laughs at the notion that there is a friction between him and the director, Hiroshi Nishiki Kiori.
So he's denying there was friction?
Right. Or the voice actress Kanetomo Kaneda, who was Chiyo-chan, who would probably also end up being Yotsuba. He also, though, does acknowledge that it's not good to have two people competing for control of an anime production. What he explains, the reason why there's currently yet be a Yotsuba anime is that why it has not been attempted, is of the difficulty of adapting its idiosyncrasy of its storytelling style.
Which is kind of disjointed like Azumanga was.
Well, that it's more, there's actual stories. Like, it's not just a bunch of 4 panels. It actually does lead up, but it's a lot of it's built off dead space and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his example was, there's a scene where Yotsuba decides to go to visiting their neighbors to go play, and she just walks in the door and yells, "Konnichiwa," i.e. hello. And then he uses several panels of nothing happening to represent time passing, and then the scene just ends. Like, which is, in the manga, is hilarious. It'd be a lot harder to really adapt that into anime. Because all you would have is just dead space, and anime tends to be more, move. Dead space doesn't always quite work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it used to really get effect in manga, but because in manga you could pace yourself to it, it's a lot harder to do that in anime.
Well, there's been a lot of Yotsuba manga. Couldn't they just take the gags that don't require that? Or I haven't read enough to know if that's a big...
Well, see, that's what I don't know, and it might be that he feels that, no one's pitched it to him properly enough to
that may be
warrant.
The very point at which why it has not been made yet is because they haven't worked out that issue.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm in no way Japanese. I'm not even that guy. I have no connections. But I would assume that's probably because there is plenty of material to work with. Mm. There's probably no one's been able to pitch it to him in such a way that he would agree, okay, go do that. Or maybe there is in fact friction and he's just trying to say there's not.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue. But our final point of news is that the third Macross Frontier album has sold 86,450 to rank number 2 on their weekly Oricon album charts for Japan.
Damn!
This is the third Macross Frontier album in a row to rank into the top 3. Just so you know, there's only been 3 Macross Frontier albums.
And they've all just kicked ass in the selling department?
Yeah, the first one, sold, 72,000 copies in its first week to rank number 3. Which was the first album in 11 years to reach top 3.
The first
soundtrack.
Ah.
The second one sold 102,000 copies in its first week in October, which was the first time that any soundtrack, anime, or live action had sold more than 1,000 copies in its first week since the 1997's End of Evangelion album.
Ah.
So this is, it's really, really, this is... Macross Frontier also has really, really awesome music, so it's nice to see that it's, it's sort of, hitting up like gangbusters. Which is kind of cool, because apparently the singing voice of Cheryl No, Mayan, she's going to be releasing her own original mini-album, Mayan Street, in January 21st, while we're getting a...
I see what you did there.
It's what it says, Mayan Street.
No, I'm talking to her.
Oh.
Because she's listening. She always listens to our podcasts.
Biggest fan.
Biggest fan.
But we're getting 2 novelty CDs of Macross Frontier, featuring the characters of Bobby Margo, Cheryl No, and Ronka Lee. That's right, the 2 main female leads and the gay guy.
What more can you want?
It's true.
I want to hear alto singing.
And of course, Yoko Kanno composed all the music.
No wonder it's so awesome.
And they're currently planning Macross Frontier feature film next year.
I'll watch
in the summer.
I'll watch the hell out of it.
And let's see, anything else in here? Well, they mentioned that apparently the next big, anime that was in there was the 6th sound episode of audio drama of Code Geass. It debuted at number 13 with 16,330 copies. So that's, so we're looking at one sold 86,000. Then the next big anime thing sold 16,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another, 50,000 more copies.
And Japan loves its Code Geass, so if Macross is outselling it, that's something.
On an aside, I think it's interesting that there's this, that we have the, the drama CD, that there's actually content that we in the U.S. never get like that.
Well, I would also really... I'm not saying anything bad about any of our wonderful American voice actors. I think it'd be really hard for us to get the same sort of thing.
I understand that.
And but you're right. They do a lot of extra stuff in Japan that we never see.
Kind of hard to subtitle an audio CD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, after playing Tales of Vesperia, where there's all those crazy little skits they've got, that, in playing Persona 4, there is a lot of really good, American voice acting talent out there now that I don't think hasn't really been there before.
Yeah.
The really hard part is going to be, it seems to be the same general staple of people tend to do a lot of the same characters in a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm. So it gets repetitive.
Johnny Young Bosch is the main character of every anime series.
When it's not, Yuri Lowenthal, Vic Mignogna, Troy Baker, there's a bunch of that seem to be mainstays in a lot of different shows. And I think it would get really confusing really quickly, to pop in a CD and go, which show is this again?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole nature of just what we've got here. Japan's got an entire nation that's pretty close together to generate their staple of character, people they can voice act.
And to be fair, they do have recurring roles too. They used to have a much huger pool of people that they pull from, much larger.
There was a time when Megumi Ashibara was every girl in every anime for a while.
Well, it's true, but but even then that was just a small subsection of the anime that was currently being existed. There was a lot of times there's a lot of shows that wasn't her.
She was just in it way more than you'd expect.
Now we're getting a lot of Aya Hirano and the chick who was Louise in Zero no Tsukaima.
She's in a lot of stuff.
She's the lolly / tsundere girl.
There's a lot of the same guys still. I mean, there's what's his face that does the narrator and
Hayate no Goku.
Hayate.
And does all the awesome characters.
Yeah, he does Tio Chan's dad and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. This is one moment in time where his name escapes me.
Awesome guy.
Or the guy...
Norio Wakamoto.
Yes.
And then there's a guy who's in every anime ever, Toga and...
Yeah.
Gamlin?
Wasn't he Gamlin?
I think it was Gamlin and Macross 7.
Was he in Nero?
Yeah, he was Nero in
That's what I thought.
He's in most every anime ever. He's in a crazy amount. I think I don't know if he no longer really voice acts. I think he might have just read the dictionary into a computer, and they just program whatever they need him to say, and he says it because he's in so many shows nowadays.
He's pretty damn awesome though.
And of course I can't remember his name for the life of me.
We'll put it on the blog. I mean the post if we think about it.
Yeah, well, we'll need to.
But I don't think he's in Macross Frontier.
Ironically.
Well, I guess since he was in Macross 7.
He was busy with some other show. He was busy with doing 5 other shows that week.
Yeah.
Was he the main character in Macross 7?
No, he was the third half of the non-existent love triangle in Macross 7. He is the ace pilot, Gamlin.
Also occasional band Brody.
But, in fact, this podcast is not about Macross 7. We're, in fact, doing a podcast, little did you know, about Macross Frontier.
I have to say, Macross Frontier is really awesome, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yes. Do we really need to explain what Macross is?
Maybe.
It's a space opera love story type deal with the super dimensionalness.
Super dimensional fortress.
It's true, but it's I was thinking about it, and I just realized that a lot of people apparently asked the AWO guys which Macross to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it's not quite as big as it was when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of you fans don't quite realize what it is, because when we were growing up, there was this wonderful little show, well, I guess wonderful, called Robotech.
At the time, it was wonderful. It holds up better than Voltron in retrospect.
It does, actually, surprisingly well.
It was pretty much a chopped up of which Macross did they chop?
The original Macross.
Original Macross, Moisia Peta,
and Southern Cross. Which only had the same thing in common of being animated by the same studio.
Which makes them look similar enough to use the same footage?
Yeah, and they all had transforming robot vehicles.
Because that was a big thing in the 80s.
Right.
We all loved those. We still love those. Well, I still love those.
They made great toys.
Yes, they were awesome toys, and we hardly ever got any in the U.S.
But Macross was, especially Japan, it's a huge deal. I mean, they did a movie, the remake, sort of pseudo-remake of the first series in Do You Remember Love, which started, hundreds of careers. Especially a lot of the big names that we know nowadays.
Yes, a lot of the people who would go on to actually, like the minor staffers have gone on to be big names in anime.
Yeah, anyone worked on the Macross movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gorgeous movie. Even
really
now,
is.
it still holds up. It storytelling wise, so, but it's gorgeous.
Mm.
But they decided for the 20th anniversary of the original show, they were going to make a brand new show called Macross Frontier. And of course, as always, it's headed up by Shōji Kawamori.
Of course.
Because that's what he does.
He's Macross.
He's the mind behind the Macross.
He was one of the original staffers who was one of the original concept creators, and he's the one who stuck with the show the most.
Yeah.
And we thank him for it.
He's got original story credit.
And now there was other guys who names now escape me because I didn't bother looking it up because I'm stupid, who also were involved in Macross, but nowadays, when you say Macross, you're saying Kawamori.
Nobuo Ishiguro comes to mind, who was the director of the TV series. Also, Legend of Galactic Heroes he worked on. And Haruki Mikimoto did the character design for the original series. And he's, mostly known for Macross and Gunbuster.
Gunbuster.
But he also, set the stage for how anime character designs were done in the 80s. He was
quite popular. Many
prolific.
other people, like Toshihiro Hirano, or whatever he calls himself these days. Not that he does much lately.
I have to admit that even though Macross was a big deal back in my growing up, I didn't get really into it until now, where Frontier, sort of oddly enough, even though it's a newfangled anime crap, got me like, oh, Macross, I gotta go see every single Macross thing ever made.
Well, Frontier is fairly watchable on its own, but it's very watchable on its own. But it does reference the earlier series.
I think there's a lot of subtle references that I'm missing out,
subtle.
just because, I heard that Alto makes a pose that mimics, I don't know, things like that. They're just real subtle.
There are very lots of little subtle nods that aren't essential to understand the show, but are definitely a little thumbs up to the fans of the original series.
And sometimes they're not quite so subtle.
Yes, sometimes they're blatant.
And sometimes they're used to troll.
Yes, Kawamori is a troll.
What?
He's a great troll. He's an epic troll.
Well, you guys will have to talk about this later.
Pineapple cake.
Pineapple cake.
Okay, well, we'll explain later on.
Okay.
When we hit the spoilers point,
First, we need to tell what Macross Frontier is.
Macross Frontier is a show about spaceships and music and transforming giant robots and
Idol singers, and apparently in this one, kabuki theater. Wait, is it kabuki?
Yes. It is kabuki.
That's why I was making sure. How to pretty much in the original Macross, what happened was out of nowhere this giant honking spaceship crash landed back in the 1990s somewhere.
Yeah, back in 1990s.
I think it was 1999 actually.
Yeah. Remember?
You might have forgotten this. but a giant, huge, honkin' spacecraft slammed into the Earth and created, untold devastation and destruction.
To a little place called South Altaria Island, which is actually a real island, but nothing like how they depicted it in the show, just in case you care.
And the next year, the second impact happened. Wait, wrong show. No, let's go on.
No, it's like next year. I forget if it's 2009, 2010, but next year or the year after, those aliens are going to show up again looking for the spaceship they accidentally dropped on Earth.
Who are known as the Zentradi, and they're sort of the armed forces of super race known as the Protoculture.
Technically, actually, the ship isn't theirs. It was their enemy, the Supervision Army. But this is like random backstory stuff you won't even hear mentioned in the Macross Frontier.
Pretty much, there was a big war between the humans and the Zentradi, and eventually, the thing with the Zentradi was that they were just giant warrior race.
And we do mean giant.
They were both huge. Giants and a warrior race.
Like 50, 60 feet tall.
And humans beat them with the power of song because they've never had these things like emotions and love, and all this stuff sort of struck them dumb silly.
Yeah. They were segregated warrior race that had come to rely on their culture that created them and now since vanished to supply them with everything. And so they were gradually self-destructing, but there were like billions of them.
So through the power of love and song, they end up becoming Zentradi humans who end up friends and co-workers and whatnot.
Lovers, and hey, they breed fine with humans, just in case you wonder, because you can shrink them down to human size.
Or, based on the movie, could, in theory, make humans Zentradi-sized.
In theory,
we don't know that's canon or not.
In theory, the genetic code is almost identical. They've never resized a human in a TV series.
But this all has to do with Macross Frontier, because Macross Frontier is a virgin fleet looking for a new world, and it has populated by both humans and Zentradi.
Well, it takes place many, many years in the future.
Yeah, obviously.
After the near destruction of both the humans and the Zentradi, humans started sending out colonization fleets to find new habitable worlds to spread out humanity and Zentradi throughout space, so we'd never get wiped out.
Apparently on the Macross timeline, thank you Wikipedia, the story is set in 2059, 47 years after the original superdimensional Macross, 19 years after Macross Plus, and 14 years after the story of Macross 7. Oddly enough, the fleet is known as the 25th New Macross class Colonial Fleet, because it's the 25th anniversary of Macross.
Of course. Yeah.
And it's dubbed the Macross Frontier. And they are, in fact, they're en route to the galactic center, i.e. center of the galaxy.
Which is where the fleet in 7 was going, but never quite made it there. They got detoured.
You better watch out for the Grox, Spore Jokes.
They probably, a lot of the fleets probably are heading toward the center of the universe.
Well, there's more stars that way. And you don't want to head out of the galaxy because there's nothing there.
Well, it's true. And this is their fleet. It's the story of this fleet and its journey to find new worlds and
find someplace that's inhabitable so they can land and not die.
And eventually send out colonization fleets from there, as I think they established that the first colony, Eden, started sending out fleets too.
Yeah. And so this is the fleet that this story is talking about. And there are several people in this fleet, and our main character is this guy named Alto Celtome, who goes to their school of singing and aerodynamics and piloting.
Well, yeah, they seem to think it's like whatever you really want to do in life seems to start training sooner in the Macross universe because they've almost had the race wiped out, so people start doing things younger.
Yeah, it's sort of this vocational school that they're attending that seems to focus mostly on idle singing and piloting
and engineering to an extent.
Engineering, yeah, because that's the most important things in Macross is either be able to idle sing or pilot Valkyries,
or be engineering, or all three, or any combination thereof,
or get your degree.
Yes. In legal
VCR
management or accounting.
Or VCR repair.
Yes.
Oh, that's wrong. No. Macross always used beta. Just anyway.
I'm pretty sure Nanako was in there for Yeah, beta repair.
As a side note, I love Valkyries. They're one of the most awesome, if not the most awesome, giant robots ever.
Yes, Shōji Kawamori created the original ones on a CAD program on his old PC.
Now, Alto, who is also the prettiest person in the show.
Yeah, just for the record, Alto Saotome is about the Japanese equivalent of Dirk Fudgepacker.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Saotome is a very gay last name.
Okay, fine.
It is. It's sort
It
of...
has Otome right in it, which is young maiden.
Yeah.
Anyways, he is a kabuki star, or his family was. That's what they're known for. And he was like, screw that, I'm going to be a pilot. So he shrugged off the family business of being their hot female lead in their all-male performances and decided to go off and be a pilot. And that's sort of his thing, is that he really likes to fly and pilot, and his big dream is to be able to pilot in an actual atmosphere.
Because the one in the colony is kind of limited.
Yeah, there's a ceiling sense. It's a really huge, big, spacious colony, but there's still a ceiling.
When you've got a super high-tech, high operational vehicle that can, bust out, the sound barrier, on a morning jog equivalent, it's not as much space as you'd think.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, even on a planet, it can go out of an atmosphere under its own power, so it's, at least I assume it can. The 19 could, so I'm sure the 25 can.
But because he's so pretty, he tends to be referred to as a Hime, or princess, a lot. Which sort of drives him up the wall, because he doesn't want to admit that he's in fact the prettiest person in the world.
It does, in fact, Hime kind of becomes his unofficial, official call sign.
And like one time he was walking down the street and it's like, oh, what a pretty girl. It's like, look, Adam's apple. I have an Adam's apple.
I'm a man, baby. I'm all man.
What was interesting, just on a side note, I found I was looking through various things, and someone showed me a Wikipedia page for this guy named Taichi Saotome, who is a very popular, actual alive Japanese film and stage actor, best known for playing beautiful young men and women.
So he may have been the inspiration for...
His father is the head of their theater troupe.
Yeah.
And he grew up the troupe performing primarily in theatrical form related to kabuki, and he had a natural talent as a female impersonator, and he's pretty much flying a tail without being a pilot. He's Alto.
Except he didn't quit and run away.
No, he's still doing it because,
Well, the simple truth is Alto is actually a very good kabuki actor. When it comes right down to it, he just really loved flying more than that, and was tired of people thinking it was a girl, which I guess I could kind of understand.
But, I thought it was really interesting that, apparently there was this guy who was pretty much Alto. He even has the last name Saotome.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I thought it was really interesting that, they would... Even, this guy they've sort of based on a real person. And I'm pretty sure it's probably intentional since they both have the same last name.
It'd be hard to argue that it wasn't intentional, but I'd still like to hear the director's
maybe if we
to that.
ever get an official DVD release, which is questionable, but maybe we'll have some interviews or something, and he'll tell us where the hell he got the idea from, and we'll see we were right.
But that's our main character, and he also has two buddies, Mikhail or Michael,
or occasionally
or
Michelle, depending on what fan sub you're watching,
and sometimes what episode of the fan sub you're watching.
Yes.
And he's a snarky, pretty boy who.
He's more, the womanizing, he wishes he was Roy Fokker. It's like, hey, ladies.
Wishes he was Roy Fokker is really cast more in the Max Genus role.
Yeah, it is. He's the ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the naturally gifted pilot who is, just really damn awesome and knows it.
And this one, he actually gets a, pimp sniper rifle, and
yeah,
he tends to let, eventually lets Alto do the dirty work of the actual combat while he kicks back and, drinks the soda and, pops enemies off from a distance.
Point and click.
And then, then their other buddy is the Shota master, Luca.
Oh man, Luca!
With his rosy cheeks. That's how you know he's good, Luca. When he has no rosy cheeks, he's bad, Luca.
Man, I didn't really dislike Shota characters, but Luca's actually really grows on you.
He's their electronic warfare recon system specialist.
I can't say Luca was at all my favorite character of the show, but I found him pretty inoffensive, and I liked all the twists and turns that he takes.
Yeah, for real.
When he stops getting quite the rosy cheeks.
He's not purely sweet and innocent, and he's not the little boy he looks like he is.
But boy, does he like to watch.
Oh,
anything.
Like, you know, he constantly sends off his, automated AI drones to be surveillance and whatnot, and he likes to watch.
Yes.
It's sort of his thing.
And we're talking Macross, and so we got to talk idol singers.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Macross has always been love can conquer all, but there's always, of course, a love triangle that they have to deal with in order to,
For love to conquer, there must be
obstacles.
And sometimes you get a resolution.
Sometimes. Well, in the first one, you got a resolution. And, anyways.
Yeah, well, plus, sort of, by default.
Plus, sort of, yeah, but...
More like winning the girl by default, but...
In 7, it was weird.
Yeah.
Not that it was sort of it was a love triangle, but it was, hastily, sort of scratched in with a very light pencil. Anyways.
And you may have heard there's this show, Macross 2. There isn't.
We don't talk about Macross 2.
Ignore that. Ignore anyone who tells you there's a Macross 2. Or just pretend it's a movie made within the Macross universe, because that's the only way to watch it.
So bad it's horrible.
Like a fiction movie in the Macross universe.
It just isn't all that great.
No, and this is the only one Shōji Kawamori had nothing to do with, so you can safely avoid it.
Okay.
But the triangle here stars actually 2 idol singers.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the awesome Cheryl Gnome.
The well-established, very popular idol singer in
From
the
the
series.
sister colony, Macross Galaxy.
Yes, from the Galaxy Fleet.
Where the cyborgs run wild and free, whereas they're illegal on Frontier.
Yeah, Frontier's a little bit more...
It's the eco-friendly hippie.
Give it to me natural colony.
And she is, she's their shining star, and she's this hugely popular, galactic fairy who is, and she's very, very confident in her abilities of singing.
Oh, yes.
Because she's the motherfucking Cheryl Gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she'll let you know that.
In every way possible.
Yeah. I have to admit, at first she rubbed me the wrong way, but you really grow to like her. She's awesome.
Well, the thing is, she can be kind of a bitch.
She is kind of a bitch a lot of the time, but she...
But the biggest thing is that she backs it up.
Yes.
Like, she's not just being it, She's not being a bitch just to be a bitch. Every time she's ever was being one, you can always tell that there was a purpose behind it.
Either a very good reason, or she turned out to be right completely.
And I think the only time that I really was bugged by her is in the first couple episodes until I started figuring that out. And
Yeah, she's a very prickly exterior, but it takes a while for her to actually get in close enough with any of the characters to start singing her real personality.
Exactly.
And the real trick with her is that she could have just kept on being this really annoying bitch character, but they took a generous amount of time in the series of really humanizing her and giving her lots of development.
She has a lot of character growth in her.
And, she's possibly the character with the most development in the show. And it really, really shows and really works well for her. Because you sort of, even though she's already established, they do a really good job of knocking her back down to nothing. And unlike a lot of characters who will just, cry about it, she sucks it up and crawls back up and makes something of herself, no matter what happens.
So, in a nutshell, she's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, she's quite possibly my favorite female lead in any show.
Awesome.
She's very, very self-confident, but it's not arrogant. She's in fact just really confident in herself. And even when her confidence is sometimes shaken, she eventually, she grows because of it. She doesn't shrink it off or anything.
And damn, some of those outfits of hers. Woo!
She did dress pretty skimpily.
But she's very, very confident.
She's very, very confident.
And then you have Ronka Lee.
Oh, let's not start it out like she's the worst character ever. I mean, okay, she's no Cheryl, but...
Ronka Lee is pretty much she's the up and coming. Well, she's not at the beginning, but she wants to be a.
She's an aspiring singer who's very big fan of Cheryl Gnome.
She's ginky and lively and cheerful and kind of lollybait.
No, she's moe. She's not ginky. She's moe.
She is kind of moe.
She's freaking moe. I mean, it's very obvious that this show was they determined they were going to hit every freaking stereotype in the book. And the stereotype they were wanting to smack you over the head with not Cheryl, with Ronka was moe. And they actually sort of hit you up the side of the head with 3 different moes, which was kind of weird.
She kind of oozes moe, from the hair that expresses itself by moving on its own, to the little cat tooth she eventually develops.
To her little poses that she does that's totally ripped from Haruhi, yeah.
Yeah, which no one can see me do the little hand thing, but she has a little hand gesture that was in fact then copied by every fan artist with every anime character in existence.
It's true. And
I have to say, it's interesting to see her, at least in the beginning, to see her struggles with trying to get into the idol singing. But once she kind of makes it, it becomes a little bit...
Well, the trick is that once she starts to make it, everything starts getting handed to her on a platter. Mm-hmm. And,
there's also that point is where things start going downhill with Cheryl, and I actually seesawed a lot on how I felt about the 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, just when it seemed like, oh, I really like her best of all, the dynamic would shift, and then I'd end up feeling more empathy for Cheryl or more empathy for Ronka.
Exactly, because when Ronka started getting popular, all of a sudden, Cheryl, you liked her more as a character because you saw her struggling and being herself more.
I was rooting for Ronka when she was up and coming because she was struggling and she was just trying to get started in the music business and no one wanted to give her a chance. And
we're missing an important factor of these characters is their relationship to Alto and how...
Well, we did mention vaguely love triangle. But...
Well, yes.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm weird, I guess, at least in this group, is that I like Cheryl from the very start. Like from the episode 1 that they showed back a year before they actually released months before they released the show.
Episode 1 as opposed to episode 1A, which is what the first episode of the TV show was.
Like Birthday Culture or something, edition or something like that.
Yes.
Basil is the true Maverick, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, he liked Cheryl, but, well, I didn't dislike her, but he was definitely a Cheryl fan before I jumped on the bandwagon.
A lot of it is just because Cheryl is very much, up and go get 'em, whereas Ronka doesn't seem to have a lot of motivation. She thinks that she would like to sing, but it's not until someone pushes her into, say, joining this one thing, which ended up a lot of times usually being Cheryl pushing her to make more of herself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or Alto saying a random word of encouragement, which became Ronka's entire world.
Like, hey, I made this paper airplane, isn't it neat? Oh, Alto, you've encouraged me to be an idol singer. That is so totally awesome. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's totally what I meant.
I think they pumped her full of a little bit too moe.
Like, it's where she never, almost even till the end, it feels like she's always riding somebody's coattails, and it's always sort of following their dream, but in a sort of her own little version of their dream. She's sort of taken for herself.
Well, I think we should leave a lot of her character up to, that's definitely one way to look at it, but I'm sure there are plenty of Ronka Lee fans out there, and they have their reasons, and you should call us up and debate us on this, like on our awesome line.
But, that's fine, but I'm going to keep still talking about my ass. Hey, you wanted, us to explain, the relationships to Alto. I'm just getting into it.
And...
Cheryl, Alto is wonderfully fun to pick on.
Yes. Oh, that's hilarious.
Like,
Alto's got this huge stubborn streak a mile wide, so...
And she loves playing with it. The big thing is that Cheryl's used to everyone going, oh my gosh, it's Cheryl. What am I do? She's a big star. Alto doesn't care.
Alto's like, meh.
She's just another girl who's giving him a hard time. Whatever.
You're a big star. I was a big star. Then I decided to do something to get a real job,
And so they're constantly playing off of each other. And I think that's one of the big reasons why I like her above Ronka. Ronka is always pining over Alto and thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man. I wonder if I did this, would he like me? Or maybe if I did this, he would dislike me? Maybe. I don't know. Whereas Alto and Cheryl are like, psh, whatever.
They have chemistry like that.
Yeah, they do. And it really works, and they're constantly poking at each other. like an actual, like, people would do.
They certainly have a more equals kind of relationship, whereas Ranka's like...
Yeah, Ranka feels like it's like a girl in high school would have it, or middle school, even.
That's what I was...
Would have a relationship with a person, where Cheryl is like, what if an adult had a relationship with a person?
I think they're both pretty fraught with problems, but she does definitely take the more mature feel to it.
Most of the time, she's more mature one.
Well, she has her silly,
She has her silly moments. She has her depressed moments. She has her overly excited moments. But
Well, yeah, I mean, Cheryl does have her flights of fancy where she goes, I could practice for my rehearsal. No, I'm just going to take the day and run around with Alto and make him do whatever I want to do.
because he cannot stop me, for I am Cheryl Gnome.
Because even though, she knows how to push his buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And she constantly does in such a way to make sure that he'll do what she wants, except when he finds out to not do what she wants. Which probably ended up being what she actually wanted anyways.
Although, I'm going to admit a guilty pleasure here. One of my favorite moments in the series is when they're both singing for him in that one time.
Yeah, there's no adolescent wish fulfillment in two hot women singing at you while sexually rubbing up against each other. No wish fulfillment at all in that.
Yeah, there's not at all. No.
But I mean, there is in fact the love triangle. And a lot of it really is that Cheryl will make a move on Alto, and then Ranka has to make a move on Alto.
Because she's jealous.
Because she's jealous and has to even the playing field.
And Alto's just kind of, I like planes.
I like to fly. Woo!
It's almost, to a certain extent, he's almost oblivious that there's two hot women interested in him.
I don't know. He shows some interest, just not as much as you'd expect.
And things change closer to the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you can definitely tell Alto's putting a lot more thought into it.
Early in the show, it's more like, oh God, is that Cheryl girl? She's annoying me. Oh God, is that Ranka girl? I guess I better be nice to her. I guess they're okay.
Yeah, when he first met Ranka, didn't he think that, well, what a weirdo, pretty much?
Well, she thought he was a girl at first, and then still went, wow, you're so pretty.
Yeah, and he was like, I need to get to my job.
I mean, it goes from like, oh my God, these annoying girls, to, well, I guess I like them okay, to, oh, well, I kind of care about what happens to them, to, well, aren't they wonderfully swell?
And while all this is happening, we haven't even mentioned like the actual like conflict of the actual show.
Yeah, Vajra.
Besides, okay, yeah, I guess there's like, some giant space bugs or something. But yeah, love triangle. Well, okay, we should probably mention the giant space bugs.
The Vajra. Who are the actual, like, sort of, they're the villains. And they're pretty much the space bugs from Ender's Game.
They're giant space bugs who come along Zerg rushing the fleet every so often.
Yeah, and the unit, what is it, the...
SMS?
Yeah, the SMS, or the military hired unit.
Yeah, it's actually the real military can't deal with this crap, so they've got a private contractor that they've hired testing new weapons to protect them.
And the SMS as a big group of characters all its own, too. And one of my favorite characters in the entire series is Ozma Lee. which
Yes.
is Ranka's...
Ranka's adopted older brother.
Yes.
Well, he adopted her, actually.
And
but-
he's the leader of the Skull Squadron, which, Mikhail, or whatever, Michael...
Which just happens that, Michael and Luca are both members of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, the squadron is pretty much Azuma, Michael, and Luca.
And random other faceless people sometimes.
Until,
Well, and like the medic who also pilots the huge-ass mobile artillery.
Is she the one with the worried about her son all the time?
Yeah. And has the most awesome, not a giant spaceship mecha in the show.
Yeah.
there's, of course, Clan.
Oh, Clan. Yes,
It's your turn.
Character.
Clan Klein.
Clan Klein. Remember the Zentradi we were talking about? Well, she's one of them.
She's the second of the Moe types.
In a way, yeah.
But first you have to say that, she's not a Moe in her original Zentradi body. In fact, she's a badass, kick-ass fighter.
She's like a 50-foot-tall warrior woman in a suit of power armor that's loaded down with beam cannons and missiles.
And gigantic breasts.
Well, actually the armor too, but she has giant breastises.
Like, it's kind of weird that her Zentradi form, she's this ridiculously tall, super stacked hottie. But when you micronize her...
She's a little lolly due to some genetic defect that's never really elaborated on. I'm sure it's probably like lolly syndrome or something.
She looks like a character out of Lucky Star.
Yes.
Down.
Like, and they even will over-exaggerate it. We'll do crazy, running animations and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because they want that kind of audience.
She is a weird little girl. And she even acts a lot more little girly when she micronizes, but I'm not sure how much of that is just...
I think he pushes her buttons a lot.
Well, yeah, Michael, Mikhail. I like Michelle, because I swear that's what they're saying. But they are childhood friends, and he knows how to push her buttons, and she knows how to push his.
And, it's just weird, because...
They're kind of the side romance of the series.
And she's two fetishes rolled up into one.
She is
depending
two
on
awesome fetishes rolled up into one.
Which version, she's currently living as.
I'd take either.
I'd take the bigger one.
I'd take neither. But, I've declared my
she's
allegiance.
my favorite character.
I guess.
You have to excuse me that I have a thing for warrior women, so...
I have a thing for warrior women and lollies.
Anyways.
Now that personal revelations have been vented, let's get on with this.
And that's, the SMS. Of course, there's also, in the school where they go to is Ronka's best friend, Nanase.
The stacked purple-haired girl.
Yeah, the stacked purple-haired girl who likes to, love on Ronka and or likes to watch.
No wonder she
Like
and
Luca.
are so...
Actually, there's a lot of romance going on in Macross. It's kind of a rule. A lot of people either hook up or you get a really serious impression they are going to hook up in the course of the show.
And then, you've got the bridge fleet
of
the Macross Quarter, which is the little mini Macross spaceship that the SMS uses.
It's like, as it says, it's like a quarter of the size of a Macross. So I don't know for certain. I'm roughly 250 meters long. It's still pretty big, but it's tiny compared to the main Macross of the fleet.
And from there, you've got your I forget his name, but you have the captain.
Yeah, he's the captain to me. He's this grizzled old space captain, and that's like awesome.
Who looks vaguely like Global or
from the original series,
Macross.
Yeah, actually, I think he looks a bit like the captain from Battleship Yamato in a lot of ways. Kind of if you fuse the two together.
Yeah,
and you have your usual assortment of bridge bunnies.
In the Grand Macross tradition, the bridge crew has generally all been, besides the captain, all women. Frontier kind of breaks its tradition, and they do have one man on the bridge besides the captain.
Well, here's flaming,
and that's Bobby.
Bobby is flamingly homosexual, and he's a black man with a huge afro.
But can pilot like nobody's business.
Yes, he is the helmsman. He's the helmsman of a little spaceship that turns into a giant robot.
And he, that's a character that grows on you.
Yes.
At first, I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of that was cool that what he just did.
Another token gay character played for laughs. Oh, how unexpected is that? Oh, wait, did he just rip that thing in half with the robot's hands?
I think I still like Liron from Gurren Lagann better, but
I don't know. Bobby really grew on me.
Yeah, Bobby was really, really cool. Like, I think,
Because he's...
heaven forbid those two characters ever meet up.
Yes. I mean, Bobby, when he's not on the bridge, and even while he is on the bridge, most of the time he's like, oh, darn. Oh, your hair and those clothes. That is a no-no, honey. And then he gets in the pilot seat. It goes in robot mode. He's like, hell yeah, let's kick some ass.
It's true. Also, like, Liron would mostly just make quips here and there, whereas Bobby would go out and do stuff.
well, that's true.
He actually would show up around and hanging out with characters. And
Also important, we get into some politics. We also have the government of the whole Macross, and we have President Glass and his hot daughter that hangs around with the SMS folks.
yeah,
And
because she's like their liaison to the real military.
And that
Leon, are you thinking?
Yeah,
the up and coming young.
He's the vice president.
Yeah, the vice president, and who's kind of the slimy weasel man, who's voiced by the guy who does Kyan and Haruhi.
Yeah, he's slimy and underhanded and conniving, and
That's not really, I don't think, any kind of
major
spoiler.
spoiler, but he's not the nicest person.
Because you'll look at him and know he's got something planned, even if it's not necessarily evil. He's definitely planning something that no one knows about.
I'm going to have lasagna tonight.
Oh, now you spoiled it, Lee.
But of course, then there's things like, President Glass's daughter, she's currently engaged to Liron.
Leon?
Leron.
He's
Leon.
engaged to Leon from a whole other show.
But you can
Is
tell that
Leon,
there's
but she
tension.
used to date Ozma.
So there's tension there.
And Ozma and Leon don't like each other. Meanwhile, and he's trying to do the awesome, Ozma's trying to be awesome and listen to Firebomber and...
Yeah, which is now classic rock, and everyone... Or the main cast from Macross 7, who are an awesome rock band, they're now classic rock in the Macross 7 universe.
I would say it's more like level of grunges now.
Yeah.
It's not quite class. It's approaching classic rock status, but it isn't quite there yet.
Well, it's only been 19 years, so they're probably still touring. Hell, I don't know. But
only 14 years.
Oh, 14, yeah. 14
years. So I mean, it's kind of like where our Nirvana is now, or stuff like Stone Temple Pilots, who occasionally, or Offspring, which still occasionally will put out music.
But most everyone in the show who ever mentions it makes fun of him for liking such old music. Even though he incorporates their song names as battle formations.
Yes, I love that.
They spend a whole episode where he plays a lot of their music in the background that's mostly centered on him.
Man, I love him.
And then you have, Cheryl's manager, Grace.
Ah, Grace.
Who you think is a good person at first, and then pretty quickly, so I don't think it's major spoilers, you realize that maybe quite not so much.
Should we go into spoiler territory?
Are we entering Macross spoiler theater?
We're starting to, I think. I think we're starting to enter some spoiling territories.
Welcome back to the OSMcast. It's spoiler mode.
Okay, just so you know, as we further progress into the podcast, it's going to be more and more spoilery. So,
Till we've ruined the whole show for you.
So, if you wanted to duck out now, go download it. You're not going to see it on DVD release anytime soon. I'm sure you can find fan subs.
Spoilers.
Go do
Harmony
that.
Gold are dicks, and they're not probably going to let this come out on DVD unless Bandai sues their ass, which Bandai will probably eventually win.
Man,
But that'll take forever. So, in the meantime, go download it.
Yeah.
fuck you, Harmony Gold.
Now-
I will kick your ass.
One of the neatest things about Macross Frontier is all the constant callbacks and throwbacks they do to
Yes.
previous things about Macross. For example, the original Macross pilot was Hikaru. And he was just, this guy who kind of wanted to be a pilot that was kind of thrown into it.
Well, he was a pilot, but he was like a civilian
pilot.
Amateur stunt pilot, kind of by the seat of his pants flyer.
Whereas Alto is a student of piloting who does like stunts as a job.
Yeah.
And he eventually forces himself into military service after the whole, the first Vajra attack. Whereas Hikaru kind of gets sort of forced into it by...
Well, he gets talked into it.
He gets talked into it, but...
I mean, it's a situation where he's feeling the pressure of a need to do it to protect, well, his love interest and at the time, and everyone else on the ship. Yeah. Stupid Min-May. But that's another podcast.
But Alto is much more, I want to do this.
Yeah. He's...
And even then, in one of the first major scenes of the Zentradi attack, there's a thing where, Min-May starts falling and he has to leap down his Valkyrie to catch her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Frontier, there's a scene where Ranka is being sucked up into the roof because it's been huge puncture, and so the suction of the space
Sucking
is...
it out into space.
Sucking out of space, so he has to fly up to catch her. And there's a lot of things like that where they take an original thing in one of the original Macross shows and twist it
around.
Yeah, it twists it on its head and does something a little bit different with it.
They managed to create a lot of little homages and create very similar scenes without making you think you're watching the same damn thing over again.
And the show's very good about it. I mean, the original love triangle of Macross was Hikaru Min-May, who was the idol singer, and Misa, who was one of the original bridge.
One of the bridge crew. I forget what in Robotech she was the executive officer, but I think she was actually a little lower ranking in the Macross TV show, but she was still second most important person on the bridge.
That's just the first episode. And of course, he'll eventually do various poses and whatnot, and of course we can't forget pineapple cake.
Pineapple cake.
Explain this to me because I must have missed that.
Okay, in the original Macross, there's a guy named Roy Fokker.
Roy Fokker is the mentor and big brother figure to the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the Ozma Lee of
He's
Frontier.
basically Ozma Lee. In fact, Ozma Lee is many ways like him. They had the Skulk Squadron in the original series. He was the leader of that. His Valkyrie's even in the same paint scheme as Roy Fokker's. But yeah, Roy Fokker was the big, badass, hotshot, awesome pilot for most of the show. Or at least the first half of the show, anyways.
And and he dated this woman. I forget her name. I know her name was Claudia
LaSalle in Macross.
And she sort of had a little afro going on too. Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, she was black.
She was black with black 80s.
She was black. He was a 6'6", blonde hair, blue eyed Aryan type, and so it was fairly progressive and awesome. But
I was saying that she was a bridge bunny. Bob was a bridge bunny. Go figure.
Yeah.
Anywho, they were dating and whatnot, and before a major big fight, they had I think was their anniversary or?
Oh, I don't. She was just gonna make him food, pineapple.
It was like pineapple salad or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and he never had a chance to eat it because when he went out, he got shot down.
Well, he got shot, but he made it back. Just he was probably not even consciously aware that he got shrapnel in the cockpit.
Yeah,
and no one noticed. He never said anything, and he eventually just ends up bleeding to death, sitting in a chair after he'd been they were just talking.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why.
So now, Ozma, they set up a whole episode trying to think they're going to kill the guy.
Yeah. Because when I saw him start bleeding, all of a sudden I thought, oh shit, he's dead. And then it went, oh, no, he's not, he's fine.
Boy, that would have been the most dramatic scene ever if he'd actually died.
They purposely he goes out of his way to set up, and it's not just then, there's several times in the show.
Wait, is that when he was going to fix pineapple cake for Ranka?
Yeah, well, someone was making pineapple cake.
No, it was for Glass's daughter.
Yeah. Glass's daughter, you're right.
But
that's it, you're right.
There's that whole episode. They, 3 different times, at least, make you think he is about to die in that episode. Because you're thinking, oh, shit. If you've watched the original show, it's he's Roy Fokker. And now that this episode is coming, it's oh, shit, they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him. Oh, nope, he didn't get killed by the cyborg in the sewer. Okay. Oh no, he's going to die horribly when he charges into battle being awesome. Nope, he's okay. He did get hurt. He got hurt. He's going to bleed to death. No. Oh, nope, he's fine.
And even after that and before that, they have a constant habit of putting him particularly into danger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you think he's going to die, but he never does. So instead, it happens to Michael.
Oh, ooh, poor Michael.
Michael, just when they,
Just when they were starting to get together with cute little size-changing Klon.
she had just pretty much, confessed her love to him. Well, of course, it was pretty obvious because she's doting him the entire
and
time.
his main problem is he feels like he's a pedo trying to date her.
But as he is sucked into space, he said, I love you too, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then what does Ronka do immediately after? Oh, I'm going to go hang out with the Vajra now.
Because my little house pet is really a larval Vajra and no one noticed.
Yeah.
Well,
that did not win Ronka any points with me.
Well, we have to explain first that they found out that her singing actually seemed to sedate the Vajra.
Yeah. So, let's see.
It sedated her because, as it turns out, in her belly, there's lots of these fold crystals in her stomach that is what the Vajra uses to communicate with.
It's a natural part of their biology, but it's also apparently infectious.
Apparently, as it turns out, they use this giant sort of fold wave communications where they sort of, are sort of this hive-minded thing where they all work together as this one thing using this giant fold network.
Like their thoughts, because of the fold crystals in their body, they can send their thoughts to each other across space and time with absolutely no time lag. So they're all instantly connected and know everything that's going on with each other.
It's like the Zerg without an Overmind. They just work together.
Well, they really do have an Overmind. They have
queen.
They have a queen, and they have lesser queens also.
So those are sort of like the Cerebrits, if we're following the same.
Yeah, I mean they have lesser queens that command smaller swarms and.
Yeah, like I said, they're like the bugs from Ender's Game.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a thing with space bugs, being all hive-minded and stuff. Go figure.
Despite that they're very antagonistically presented, I have found the Vajra to be some of the most sympathetic space bugs. Well, maybe aside Ender's Game, but
at this point in time, Ronka doesn't know any of this. She's like, oh, I love my little, Vajra buddy. He can't come to harm. I'm going to go send him home with his family and friends. And, Alto's like, they just killed Michael. What the hell are you talking about? They've just killed one of our best friends and untold known civilians and military units. Why are you leaving now? Whatever, I guess you don't love me anymore. Bye.
I'm going to go riding off with my actual brother, who has mysteriously appeared from nowhere like 5 episodes back.
Oh, yeah, we forgot all about Brenna.
Poor Brera, because he plays a huge part in, the last quarter of the show, but...
He's sort of the, what's his name? Minmei's cousin.
Lin Kai-Foon.
Yeah, except unlike, he had the hots for Minmei, Brera just, is going, I know I want to protect this girl, and I don't know why.
Stupid cyborg brain with parts of real brain missing. Dope.
And a lot of this is being orchestrated by
Grace.
Grace, who, now that we're in spoilers, is the villain.
Yeah, she's so totally the freaking villain. Because she wants to take and commandeer this fold network for herself and put everyone with this fold network and be the hive mind that controls everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Maybe I should mention the little Vajra infectious fold crystal organisms, in fact, are basically the equivalent of space aids. Unless you happen to be born with them, in which case they settle happily in your abdomen and are cool. But if you're infected later, it goes into your brain and kills you.
Which is what's happened to Cheryl. As we mentioned earlier, she sort of gets knocked down where Grace has decided that obviously Cheryl isn't working out.
Because one of their big things is not having Cheryl's potential as an idol singer, but her potential for resonating the fold waves. And they found that Ronka does that way better because she was born...
She was born with space aids, and so she's immune.
And so she goes, oh, well, I guess it's time for Cheryl to die. And Cheryl just keeps being too stubborn to die. Yeah. And despite all of her best efforts, Cheryl keeps getting back up.
And not dying. It's quite awesome, actually.
Yeah, but this resorts to Cheryl being knocked down to nothing and has to sort of, claw her way back up to stardom. Or even just, living. And as further it goes on the series, it gets harder and harder. She gets, more and more sick with the space aids.
Yeah.
Because this stuff is trying to kill her.
It doesn't mean to. In fact, it's really meant to help the Vajra communicate with other life forms, but it just apparently doesn't work at all with humans.
Now, thankfully, in the wonderful last episode, which solves everything, somehow...
Magically. We're talking epic level. Last episode of Code Geass solves everything.
Man, I gotta see the last episode.
Well, it isn't... It's...
It wasn't that messed up to begin with.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as messed up to begin with. It was just... It was very fast-paced.
Yeah.
And they're constantly going boom, 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 boom. I mean, they were throwing references left and right with pinpoint bear punches.
Yes.
You know, him pulling off the Hikaru, sort of
Hikaru
salute flip.
salute. And of course the, oh, you're a big giant-ass enemy and I unload everything I have into you.
Oh, yeah. Like, it does it very, very quickly. And it even includes, Ronko fixing, moving the space hates down to Cheryl's stomach.
Where they'll be happy and
thus
not
fixing
kill her.
Through the power of song. Yeah. Oh, Macross.
The beauty is, there is a little real-time, instantaneous communication even between our heroes who take it in a helpful manner.
It's true.
Quite epic.
Not the creepy Borg hive mind that Cheryl wants.
Yeah, Macross...
You mean
Grace wants.
Yeah.
Strike that. Cheryl's awesome.
Macross is kind of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Because, it starts off with a pretty big bang, then kind of moves into wacky high schooling, antics territory. And then about near the halfway point, it suddenly delves into war.
And epicness.
Epicness, political intrigue. And then sort of goes, oh yeah, this is Macross, what we're supposed to be doing in the first place.
Get back to singing.
And then, they keep charging on out and then ends it off really well. Like, it was sort of like, it wasn't not quite the crazy roller coaster that Code Geass is, where I felt like it was like this gigantic sine wave. It was like, oh yeah, it's really good. Oh, it got really bad. Oh, it's really good. Oh, it's really bad. It's more sort of like, just a roller coaster where it started building up, then going down, then it sort of kind of meandered, then with some awesome twists and turns. And
Well, it had to get you in there by being awesome. It had to make you stick with it. Then it goes into, like, establishing the characters more and giving a little more characterization. Then, of course, because it is a mecha show, you got to get back into some more fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in the beginning it was kind of interesting that you almost had, like, fighting episode, kooky episode,
Yeah.
fighting episode, kooky episode,
You could
fighting
almost-
episode, kooky episode.
You could tell it by your watch.
And, of course, then there was a scene where Cheryl loses her underwear and has to run around and gets it by leaping off the school and, I guess, theoretically flashing everyone down below.
Yes.
I guess.
Maybe. Probably.
The camera angles never show you, but you
No.
gotta wonder.
There's some lucky bastard who looked up, I'm sure.
But there you go. But one of the things we actually haven't mentioned yet, which I'm surprised, is the music.
Well,
Is really good.
It
music is
awesome.
always important in a Macross show.
It is.
It's all about music when it comes right down to it.
And they did a really good idea, which is what they did for Macross Plus. They got Yoko Kanno to come back and do the music.
Yeah.
And she did a really, really awesome job. And it's actually kind of interesting in that... Oh, I need my stuff back again.
The dialogue between Shōji Kawamori and Yoko Kanno in the actual creation process.
Yeah, like, apparently, normally what happens is they'll go, hey, I need some songs, and then we'll work into it best we can. This time, Kawamori and Yoko Kanno had much more of a back and forth approach to it, where he would go, I need this kind of song, and she'd go, well, how about this? Well, I was thinking about this. Okay, well, then how about this? And there's a lot more, and hey, I saw that scene you're working on. How about we use this music to complement that, and go, actually, I'll be change the scene over here to make it fit the music better. And it was much more of a, she sort of had much more
Creative input.
in
More
the
like
actual
it
show.
was scored to the show rather than, well, you gave me a general idea and I made some of these tracks that probably sound like they would go with your show. Do you think you can use them?
And he would go like, hey, I need a commercial jingle. She goes, okay, I want to do a commercial. That sounds like fun.
I can do that.
You need a song about carrots. Okay, here's a song about carrots.
Everyone loves carrots unless you hate carrots. Yeah, here we go.
And so it really does, like, the music does really tie in, possibly the best tie-in with the actual story in a Macross yet.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really impressive considering Macross 7 was about a rock band.
Yeah.
Yet Frontier does feel much more. It's one cohesive whole,
including the epic final episode where almost the entire episode is one massive medley of the entire soundtrack.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of times they sort of treat the show as almost like a musical with the actual music played, and it really gave Kano a really big chance to really stretch her, if not just awesome orchestrated background music, but with actual like pop music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which sometimes she gets to do openings and whatnot, but rarely does she get to do music stuff done by pop idol singers. And it's just a lot of it is just really, really good.
I do have this great cosmic love for Macross 7 and all of Firebomber, but Macross Frontier is perilously close to being my favorite soundtrack ever.
I can listen to the crap out of that, and it's great.
I think there's a reason why all 3 albums have been cracking music charts in Japan.
Yeah.
It's some of the best music I've ever heard in anime. Like, even from Yokono's previous works, I feel this is sort of I don't want to say a culmination of what she's done before.
But it's certainly some of her best ever.
Some of her best ever. And yes, I've heard people go, well, it sounds very similar to this and this and that. And she might steal a couple of riffs here and there. Most music artists, composers do. And she's very good about using it very well, which is a lot of it. Mm-hmm. I can't fault her for having good taste. And she does a really good job, I think, of a lot of her orchestrated stuff sounding very, very, spacey. Mm-hmm. Like stuff that you might have heard in, like, a Star Trek or Star Wars or something, where, you're like, I can associate this with space.
Mm.
Yeah, it also has good, epic, stirring, like, dramatic, heroic music, and...
Yeah.
And both openings are fantastic.
Technically, there's 3 openings, but one's really a gag opening.
Oh yeah, well, that was the Ronka gag.
That was the
opening,
Ronka gag opening with the Nyan Nyan.
where they almost used flash animation to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just one episode, though. You can ignore that. Actually, it's sort of cute, but yeah.
But it was some really good stuff. So, Macross Frontier. How awesome is it?
It's a monster battle frontier Macross quarter combo punch of awesome.
I'm going to give it 25 super dimensional fortresses of awesome.
I like that.
It's a 25th anniversary project. It definitely does move Macross into a new frontier of awesome. Despite, some of the rockier points. It's overall a very good show. And I think if someone were now just to get into Macross, I think this would be an excellent entry point.
Definitely a show that if you watch it, you'll probably find yourself wanting to go watch some of the other Macross series.
Which was my experience, pretty much.
It's definitely one of the, since it's done by Studio Satellite and stuff, it's pretty brand new, very slick looking. It's also one of the first animes designed, in production to be sold on Blu-ray discs. Mm-hmm. So it's very well. It had high definition in mind the entire time.
Satellite also worked on Aquarion, and they're one of the few people who do CG mecha well. But that's also probably Kawamori influence.
And it's a really good looking show, and a lot of things that previous Macross shows they're going to look very dated. Because they're older shows.
The original show is like 82, 83, I think.
Yeah, and it holds up as well as an 80s show can.
It's very fun to watch, but yeah, there's lots of, quality moments, and I say that in all caps, with funny expressions, and where the in-between animators were being lazy, little color errors, but it's overall a fun show, but yeah, it certainly shows its
time. And then, sometimes even Macross 7... It was definitely a long show, and it definitely had its high points and low points.
Yeah, it's got a lot of reuse scenes, and the early part of the show is actually a lower quality of animation than later in the show, and I guess its popularity picked up and they got a bigger animation budget.
And, it's like, well, Macross 7 is also very polarizing.
Yes. You either love it or you hate it.
Both of you happen to love it?
I like it pretty well.
I love it. Although Frontier is edging in, I would have said Macross 7 was my absolute favorite before I saw Frontier.
And then Macross Plus is also a good one.
And relatively short.
It's relatively short. You can actually still buy it on DVD.
You can get movie version or the 4-episode OAV version.
It's more or less the same thing.
Well, the movie leaves some stuff out, but it has a couple of awesome extra bits.
And, that might be another good one. Or, the Do You Remember Love, the Macross movie is a good.
Yes, which, once again, good luck. Not available in the U.S., but it's probably floating on the internet somewhere. Not that I'm encouraging you to pirate, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, so is Frontier, because there's a big, who's got the rights kerfluffle.
Yeah, the people who gave us Robotech that we mentioned earlier, Harmony Gold, they seem to be convinced they own the rights to Macross in the U.S. and are kind of big dicks when anyone else tries to bring it out.
And then, of course, then between Bandai and Big West and all that, who, even Japan, there's big fights on who owns what, and it's pretty much one just giant copyright disaster. And until they sort things out, we're never going to see it in the
I'm
US.
hoping Bandai is like, well, this is making us so much money in Japan and so awesome that we're going to try and make some of those bucks in the US, and they're just going to try to force it through, but I don't know if they'll feel it's worth the legal battle.
We will have to see.
But, you can definitely find it in the fan sub channels. It's all been fan subbed by a variety of groups, some better than others. If you can, I would suggest GG, but they didn't do everything, I don't think. But it's a really good show. I definitely recommend downloading it and watching it, then going back and watching some of the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely watch at least the movie version of the original show.
That's
Macross Plus is a definite. After that, I would say try 7. Macross 0 is a point of contention, as a lot of people really, really, really disliked it. I thought it was okay.
I kind of liked it.
Kevin kind of liked it.
It certainly had lots of moments that were pretty awesome.
On the plus side of it, it's very short.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into kooky territories. But,
there is some tie-in to Macross Frontier, so...
Well, in some ways there's a lot of tie-ins, but then again, they do an entire episode which they're making a movie version of Macross 0.
In the universe, universe context, like a historical, period movie.
But it's pretty much gives you all the gist of the show anyways.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to watch it, but if you really...
Unless you just want to marvel at just how many of the scenes they replicated in the episode of Frontier. So, of course, they probably have half the same staff. But
in the end, Macross Frontier is awesome, and you should totally watch it.
Yes. And I think we are out.
Hold on.
Here comes
James is coming in.
James
oh
has
shit!
entered the
James
building.
has entered the room.
Yes.
What I do?
He has many edits to hear for when he finally
fuck you
gets to
guys.
this.
Man,
Destroy you all.
we're 41 minutes and we've just now started getting into Macross.
This is going to be a double-sized, extra special installment.
All of you.
I love you, James!
The fans love you, though, because without the sound guy, this would just completely suck instead of occasionally suck.
Yes, I know.
So, it's the OSMcast. You can throw us an email, awesomecast@gmail.com. You can check us out at the Awesome Line, area code 206-202-0071.